Whether he's watching the big game or binging his favorite series, we all know that Dad loves his big screen TV. So to help us pamper Dad this Father's Day, we called in our resident tech expert and one of our producers, Matthew Lydell, to explain the latest and greatest in gadgets and TVs. All right, I used to be the tech expert, but now I'm too old because I'm Dad age.
We've passed the torch.
Yes, so thankfully you've got us. So let's start off TVs. Everyone's talking about 4K TVs. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, so 4K, you think about there were standard definition TVs. Now we're sort of in HD TVs if you have one recently.
Okay.
But then there's 4K. And, when you hear the original HD was 1080p in terms of pixel count. So you hear 4K and think, well, is that like 4 times better? It's actually not that. 1080p was referring to the vertical height, while 4K is pretty close to what the horizontal is for these new TVs.
Okay.
So it's a little more like double the actual pixel count size.
So you're talking about the actual size of the TV?
How many pixels there are horizontally. So the light blue that's there is what like DVD quality was. Green is kind of where you probably are.
Yeah.
And then red is where these newer TVs are in terms of pixel count.
That's a huge
Does that help
jump.
that stretch problem that we all, like when we look stretched out if on the wrong kind of TVs?
Well, that might be how like your cable box or however the settings are in your TV. Because a lot of, if you're watching something in like standard definition, it's trying to fill the black spaces on the sides.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you want a TV that can accommodate the highest quality, even if the highest quality isn't always coming through?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a lot of, there's like upscaling in certain ways, and the thing is, like, a lot of times you'll notice like the actual, how low the quality is if you're watching something on such a nice TV.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, like we kind of had that with HD where you would watch like non-HD stuff and realize, I never realized it looked that
how bad it is.
Yeah.
What about sporting events? Because that's what Dad wants to know.
So
will live sports look amazing on 4K?
It should look really good. So actually, the World Cup, they've been talking about, people are like, how can I watch this on my new TV? And a lot of streaming services, and apparently even like Dish and a lot of other Dish services are allowing for 4K streaming of the World Cup. So you are going to be able to do those sorts of things. It's still not quite, it's like how it started off with HD, where it wasn't like every single station was available, but like it's kind of building up that way.
So we need a provider to actually send us 4K quality to get the maximum impact.
Definitely,
All right.
Now, here's a question. So my dad is totally into new TVs, so it's not a hard sell for him as a gift.
Yeah.
But for maybe the dad who's like, I'm happy with the one I've got, is there really a big difference when you jump up to 4K?
So that's the thing, is the pixel count, like how many pixels, is not the selling point, surprisingly. Like you can tell sort of a difference, but it's roughly double. The thing that really matters is high dynamic range, or HDR. And that's something that you may notice on your phone camera, if you notice in the settings, is HDR is a thing. In terms of photography, what that's doing is it's taking multiple photos of different exposure, so it's trying to get the detail of shadows and highlights, and meshing it together. So you see a lot of stuff like on Instagram, especially these very almost hyper-realistic looking photos, and that's just trying to get this really sharp detail in the shadows and really sharp detail on the in the actual highlights, and like in that photo of looking at the sun. TVs are slightly different in that way. It's actually just a wider range of colors and shadows that it's able to actually show you.
Okay.
So instead of like, it looks a little artificial when you see it in photography, in TV, it's using the full breadth of color and lighting that's available in like movie cameras and TV cameras.
Okay,
That's
so
so
that
much
kind of
more.
goes to my next question. If I'm going to watch a movie from On Demand, will I get the full complement of benefit from my 4K TV from an on-demand movie?
From an depending on where you actually get it from, yes, because they actually now, the new Apple TVs, they have a 4K Apple TV that actually does stream in 4K. And a lot of services like Netflix and Amazon are streaming in 4K.
Okay.
What's actually really interesting with Apple TV is any movies that you purchased in the past from them in HD are, the moment there's a 4K HDR version, you're automatically upgraded.
That's
to the next
awesome.
thing.
Like when you bought DVDs, if you wanted to replace it when they came out with Blu-ray, you had to buy it. That's good
But
to
your
know.
DVD is going to look like garbage on this TV.
Yeah, don't forget
Just checking.
Sorry,
Might as well
Dad.
throw those out.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is very helpful. helpful, and these are only some of the things we're going to start to decipher. I think, Matt, we got to have you back to explain LED versus OLED.
And smart. We need to talk about why we have to have smart TVs, because I don't get that.
So Dad will want a TV for the rest of the year, so we'll learn more with Matt as our new resident tech expert. Thank you, Matt.
I like that segment. Learn more with Matt.
To ask these questions. I'm so glad you
No, this is great. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Stephanie about her vacation to Alaska. We've got pictures, and hopefully we'll get the good stories.